The end of days, a universal story. The end of the world. It's a concept as old as time itself. Across cultures and throughout history, humans have always been fascinated by the idea of an ultimate ending. We tell stories, write songs, and create art about it. In many religions, the end times aren't just a story, they are a prophecy, a promise, a warning. They represent a time of great upheaval, judgment, and ultimately transformation. But what does the end look like? And what happens after? For some, it's a fiery apocalypse, a purging of the wicked. For others, it's a time of spiritual rebirth, a return to a golden age. Despite their differences, these beliefs share a common thread. They reflect our deepest fears and our greatest hopes for the future. They remind us that nothing lasts forever. Change is inevitable. And while the end may seem frightening, it can also be an opportunity for renewal and a new beginning.
In Christianity, the end times are centered around the second coming of Christ. Believers anticipate Jesus' return to earth in glory, heralding a period of divine judgment and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. The Bible describes this event as a time of great tribulation, marked by wars, natural disasters, and widespread suffering. This period will culminate in a final battle between good and evil, often referred to as Armageddon. Following this cosmic showdown, a new heaven and a new earth will be created. This transformed world will be free from sin, suffering, and death, where God will dwell among his people in eternal peace. The faithful will be resurrected to eternal life in the presence of God. Those who rejected God's grace will face eternal separation from him. This belief underscores the Christian emphasis on salvation through faith in Jesus Christ.
Islam shares with Christianity a belief in a final day of judgment. Known as Yawm al-Qiyamah, this day marks the end of the world and the beginning of the afterlife. On this day, all souls will be resurrected and stand before Allah for judgment. Their deeds in life will be weighed, and they will be rewarded with paradise or punished in hellfire. Islamic tradition speaks of major and minor signs that will precede the Day of Judgment. These signs range from natural disasters and moral decay to the appearance of a false Messiah or Dajjal. One significant figure in Islamic end-time narratives is the Mahdi, a guided leader who will appear alongside Jesus to defeat evil forces and establish justice on earth. This period will be a time of peace and spiritual renewal before the final judgment.
Section 4. Beyond the Abrahamic Faiths. Cycles of Creation and Destruction. Beyond the Abrahamic faiths, other religions offer different perspectives on the end times. Hinduism, for example, views time as cyclical rather than linear. Instead of a single end, Hinduism believes in a continuous cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. This cycle repeats endlessly, with each era culminating in a period of dissolution before a new cycle begins. Within this cyclical framework, the end of an era represents not an absolute end, but a transition to a new beginning. This perspective offers a unique understanding of time and existence. Buddhism, too, emphasizes cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. While it doesn't focus on a global apocalypse, it emphasizes the impermanence of all things, including the universe itself.
Section 5. Signs of the times, harbingers of doom, or natural occurrences. Across many cultures and religions, certain signs and events are believed to foreshadow the end times. These signs often reflect the anxieties and fears of the time. In the past, plagues, famines, and wars were often interpreted as signs of divine wrath or an impending apocalypse. Today, some interpret global warming, political instability, and technological advancements as potential harbingers of the end. It's important to approach these interpretations with a critical and discerning mind. While some may find solace or urgency in attributing such events to divine intervention or prophetic fulfillment, others may view them through a more secular lens. Ultimately, how we interpret these signs depends on our worldview and our understanding of the world around us.